So today we're going to talk about our new item sorter, guys, which is a project I have been working on for a little while recently and got a bunch of people excited about. So for the first part of this video, we're going to talk about what is the new sorter, what are the new features, how does it compare to the previous project, which also got an update. We are going to talk about how to expand the system in whatever way and shape that you want, and how to add multiple modules to the system until it looks very intimidating like this one does. But in the end, you're going to see that those are all modules and that there are a lot of repeatable patterns here, and that, well, it's not such a mystery. So let's get started, guys. So this is a minimalistic version of the new system that does everything, but just has the bare minimum to work. The one thing everybody loves about multi-item sorting systems is the fact that we can group different kinds of items into the same category. So for instance, in this category, I have all different colors of wool. So let's pick up some items here, and this category has different kinds of doors and trapdoors as well. And I also have an unset category, so there's basically no items to this category. And here's the input chest, and if I place items inside it, this minecart is going to detect the presence of these items. Then it's going to try to load an entire stack of items. Then it's going to try to find a category where to place those items. And once it does, it's going to station here, and it's going to start unloading the items inside the system. The items go through these hoppers down here, and they go straight to the category where the items belong. And as you can see here, we are getting our colored wool inside this category. As soon as it finishes unloading items, it starts loading new items, searching for a new category, doing all the deal again until all the items are sorted. And while the items are not sorted, by the way, this lamp stays on, indicating that the sorter is working, so you know what's going on. When the minecart goes under these chests at the back here, it finds a category, and it does this because inside these configuration chests we have some samples of items in here. So for instance, here I have all the different colors of wool, and on the second category I have all kinds of doors in their respective trapdoors, as well as iron doors and trapdoors. And this category is basically unset, as you can see here. And what this means is if we have items that the system cannot recognize, let's try it with these ender pearls and maybe the paper here. Now, if you look here, it's unloading the items to this category named uncategorized items. So see, our ender pearls and the paper have gone to the uncategorized items because the system doesn't recognize them. For the system to recognize your items, you need to have a category for them. Not this one, not this one, not this one, because this one is empty. So if I now set this category as such by replacing the filler items there, I can now place these two stacks, and let's speed up the system again, and it will notice that now they don't go to the uncategorized category, they actually have a category to go. Also new is the fact that the system can deal with non-stackable items. So if I place things like armor or enchanted books here now, you can see that the system is capable of dealing with them, and they all get inside the non-categorized area here. And yeah, the system is much faster than before. I will be able to show you more about that when we start talking about the expanded version right there. But now all you need to know is that you can expand this to have as many categories as you want. You have all the 54 slots to be configured now, and as you can see here, we don't even care if the item stacks to 16 or if it stacks to 64 with this new system. And you can also expand your storage down here to have as many chests as you want. And this is the expanded version of the system. You can see that I have added a nice interface here, including a proper input chest here, so it looks more like something you would probably have in survival. And you can see that it's actually sorting for some items currently. And the way you use it is by just placing some items in there. Let's try to put items in this specific order. The items get inside the item elevator. This is completely silent, by the way, and they get to the same kind of input chest. This is equivalent to this input chest that you can see here. You can see the items here now because the minecart is probably taking them. So now it's going to unload whatever items it was able to pick from the chest, which are the activator rails. Same deal as before. As you can see, we have the uncategorized category, and regular items fall inside this category if they cannot find any category they belong to anywhere else. But also, items that cannot be recognized can also be non-stackable. So there's also a category for non-stackable items separate from the regular items, unlike this one. So it's basically this category, but extended. I split this into two different sections. And now, for instance, we can have a pickaxe here. I think there are more items in there. They're probably coming. But yeah, it just sorted something here, and it's cake. So let me show you this one feature that I think is really cool. So let's pick up oak doors, specifically because they belong in this category very far from the beginning of the sorter. And let's maybe pick up, I don't know, some eggs, for instance, and put the items inside here, and yeah, minecart's gonna go. You can see that it has a lot more speed at the top because of the curved rails. It's not gonna be loaded with oak doors, and it's gonna go on another trip to find a category for the trapdoors as expected. And now comes the interesting part, which is minecart's gonna start unloading the items. So if we use carpet mod to freeze time now, you can see that the minecart is currently loading. It has already loaded all eggs, but if you check the lamp, the items are still being unloaded to this chest. So these is happen in parallel. And if you look at the hoppers, we still have items inside them. And this used to be a problem with the previous system. We needed a hopper, a comparator line going all the way back to the unloader to hold the minecart in place, because otherwise the minecart would be too fast and it would go on another round resetting all the categories and items would go to the wrong places. But now instead what it does is as soon as it finishes unloading, it starts loading in parallel to the unloading process. And if we look here, you will also notice that these rails are turned off. They have been turned off, and this is because the minecart cannot go on top of these rails here. Let me unfreeze the game for a second now and pay attention to this rail here. See, the minecart has stopped, but now it has been started again. And this happens because the system now detects when it's finished storing the items properly. So when the minecart goes under the chest, it doesn't do anything besides picking up items for the categories. But the category is actually selected when the minecart goes on top and gets the item back inside the configuration chest, which, by the way, we have a lot of items inside the configuration chest here. And basically the system takes advantage of that. So in many cases, when the system is done storing the items, the minecart is already on its way to sort more items, which is a huge speed boost. Time to talk about the big boy right here, all right? So this is the complete storage room that I came up with, and this is what the World Download provides, and it's probably what most people are going to try to build. So this one has 60 categories in total, which, as you can see here, I wasn't even able to completely use because it's too many categories for me. If you open any chest of the categories here, the ones that I am actually using, you will see something that actually makes sense. So this one has a Shulker Box Unloader, so you can really have any kind of item inside the system. Let's start by testing it with empty shulker boxes, which are the black boxes, as well as this orange shulker box. You will notice that the black boxes get broken immediately because they're empty. This one is not empty, so it starts unloading. The black boxes were placed here inside the empty shulker boxes, stored, so they get returned to you. And the Shulker Box Unloader uses the input chest to transport items through the item elevator again and put them inside the system. The first items to be unloaded are actually going to the bulk storage, which is this. So you can see that we're getting stone here. The bulk storage only sorts for one kind of item. In this case, I've chosen mine to be cobblestone, bone blocks, netherrack, and root stone. And if you look here, you can see the item filters being set up using a regular Impulse SV item sorter with overflow protection as well. So the next items are going to the multi-item sorter. So you can see that we're getting magma blocks here. The minecart's currently unloading some of these magma blocks, but the magma blocks are not in this section. They are here in this nether section. If we look at this category, you will notice that the magma blocks go to this section. So here you should be able to see that the minecarts are working in parallel. You can see that minecart unloading to this station while this other minecart is also working here. So now you can see that the minecart is unloading. The minecarts both are unloading to different places at the same time. So things do work in parallel here, which is quite efficient and interesting. So signs, I think they go to this section here. So yeah, signs are here. And the disk is going to the non-stackable items. So it's going to eventually end up inside this non-stackable chest here. And there we go. So yeah, as you can see, we have 3 sections here and they all work independently. If they can't find an item within their domain, they will send the item to the next one until items fall either on their proper category or inside the uncategorized category or to the non-stackable category. So far, you've seen how we can place just any item inside the input system and how shulker boxes are going to get automatically unloaded, how the empty shulker boxes are going to be placed inside this chest conveniently for you, how we also have bulk storage connected to the system before it goes to the multi-item sorter, and how non-stackable items all end up in this last category here. But the thing is, Non-stackable items take up a lot of space, especially because they don't stack, which is why I included this device here, this section of the sorter, which is a Shulker Box Loader. So, and what it does is it is connected to the system, and you can turn it on or off, and if it's turned on, it's going to load non-stackable items inside Shulker boxes that can now go back inside your storage. So let me do a quick demonstration here. It's currently turned off because this lamp is off. So if I press this button now, you will notice that this lamp has been turned on, and here I have a chest where I can place these items. So I can basically move all these potions to my inventory, and then I can place those here. And behind here, another item elevator. Yes, another item elevator. And it's gonna load everything inside this little shulker box, this light blue shulker box. And if we look inside this chest now, eventually that shulker box is gonna get completely full, and the system is gonna break it. And as you can see here, we got our shulker box, and now all the items are inside the shulker box. And don't worry, if you don't have enough shulker box, this lamp at the top here will turn off, because this is the storage indicator. So now, for instance, we can pick up all these items. We can place all of those here if we want to reload the system with something else. And we can also place empty shulker boxes in there. I didn't do a good job of placing empty shulker boxes in there, so let's try to load the system with even more items. Now pick this up, and if we place any empty shulker boxes in here, it's no problem, because the system also has a filter right here, so only regular items go to the storage, and shulker boxes actually get inside this different section here. And you just saw how the shulker box got broken, and now we have already loaded 2 shulker boxes with our non-stackable items, and this is how easy it is. Another nice functionality worth mentioning here is, let's say we want to have all of these books be stored inside shulker boxes. But as you can see, we don't have a lot of books. So in this situation, what we're going to get is a partially full shulker box, and we have no way of knowing what is really inside the shulker box. So one thing you can do is to press this button, and it's going to break the shulker box. It forces the shulker boxes to be broken. So you can check the contents of the shulker boxes now, and this is pretty cool. And yeah, as I mentioned before, you can pick up your items, and your empty shulker boxes can be place it back inside your storage system. There is plenty of storage for the shulker boxes. We can run a simulation here because there is a detection here. So if the system runs out of shulker boxes, it just creates new shulker boxes. As you can see here, we got a new shulker box, and we can keep doing that, and the system is going to, of course, I'm pulling your leg. There are a bunch of shulker boxes inside the storage system that I preloaded here, and we have more space here inside the hoppers, and you can make this one a double chest. There is also a barrel here, and all of this is room for more empty shulker boxes. And if you run out, eventually this lamp is going to turn off, telling you that you need this to be changed. And meanwhile, you can, if you want, just turn off the compressor or the Shulker Box Loader. Last but not least, I have added this Anvil station here just for fun, because remember that Minecraft is still a game. So the thing about Anvils is eventually they're going to break, and with the system, once it breaks, it's going to be replaced automatically. So if I break another one, so yeah, this is just a nice fun thing to do, and of course you don't have to build it. I have included enough space for up to 9 anvils here if you don't want to expand the system, because you can basically keep building the same machine, and then you can expand your system to do whatever you want, and then place more anvils there. And this is how it works. I almost forgot to explain what this little section is here, and that has to do with how the system works. If you look inside the minecart, there is a new system, which looks very complicated, which I'm calling the banner system. And you cannot have these items trying to be sorted inside the system, because those are used as control items. So I filter those out here. So see, all of these items are filtered here, just like the bulk storage. But instead of storing them anywhere, they all go inside this trash can here. And this is a lava cauldron, and anything you put inside it gets destroyed. Let's try it with these ender pearls. So see, it detects the presence of something, and everything's being thrown inside lava and being destroyed, and then the clock stops, and life goes on.